X.6, we're going to add and subtract rational expressions, or we're going to add and subtract. We're going to add and subtract rational expressions, or we're going to add and subtract fractions. What's the rule for fractions? Adding and subtracting. You have to have a common denominator. So there's several ways of going about doing this. I'm going to show you my way. So we're looking at just the bottoms. Don't care what the tops are. Because it's 5 and w to the 5, the easiest way to get a common denominator is to multiply them together, unless you can see that something goes into them and everything. So we're going to do 5w to the 5. Now, what we have to do is make both of our original bottoms 5w to the 5. So what would we multiply 5 by to get 5w to the 5? W to the 5, right? What would we add w to the 5 by to get 5w to the 5 of 5? But if you have to multiply the bottom, then we have to multiply the top also. And we're going to multiply the top also. Okay? And then we're going to multiply, so that would be 3w to the 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Now let's pause. We have a 3, a 20, and a 5. Does anything go into those? No. We have w to the 5, no w, and w to the 5. Since the 20 doesn't have a w, we can't take out a w. So that's going to be our answer. Right? When we are subtracting, I strongly suggest, it's not necessarily obvious on this problem, but whenever it is going to be obvious, just go ahead and do it. So whenever we're subtracting, I strongly suggest that you make that negative a positive and put the negative to the 2. Okay, we got to get a common denominator. The common denominator between 5 and 9 is 45, and then we put an r. Now, what would I multiply 5 by to get 45? 9, and then I need an r. What are you going to multiply 9 by to get 45? 5, and we already have an r. So if I needed this by 9r, then this is going to be 9r, and then that was 5, so this is 5. Multiply, so that would be 9rs, and then a negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. There's your answer. We put this over 1, so the common denominator is that. So what would we need to multiply 7b to the 5th c to be able to get 7b to the 5th c? Well, basically nothing. But to keep it all uniform, I'm going to put a 1 there. And this would need to be 7b to the 5c. So this is going to be 1. And this is going to be 7b to the 5c. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 7 is 14. We had b to the 5, and we're putting another b with it. So that's going to be b to the 6 and c. We're going to put this over 1, and we're going to put this over 1. Our common denominator is going to be r. So I need an r, so that needs an r. That needs an r, so that needs an r. And this needs a 1, so that needs a 1. So this would be 10q to the r minus 10 r minus 5. Okay. When you have something like this, we need to distribute that negative first, so that would be negative t. I'm going to go ahead and put it over 1. That would be positive 4. I'm going to go ahead and put that over 1. Your common denominator is going to be 4. That needs a 1, that needs a 1, that needs a 4, that needs a 4, that needs a 4, so that needs a 4. So it'll be 1 minus 4t plus 16. Put that over 1. B plus 7. So this is b plus 7. So that's b plus 7. This would be 1. So that would be 1. So we're going to distribute this, and it would be 4b squared plus 28b plus b. Now this is the first time that this has happened, so I haven't asked you about it. I don't think it is. Let me pause real quick and look. Oh, it did happen. Okay, I'll go back to it. Okay, like terms. Right there. So we have to make sure after we've multiplied and we put everything on top that there is or is not anything to put together. So I got to put those b's together. So it's 4b squared plus 29b. So that being said, what can we do on this one? We got to put those together. So it'd be 17 minus 4t, or you could have put the negative 4t first and a positive 17. Both of those are exactly right. Alright, we are going to make that negative a positive and make that 8 a negative. Now, let's see. And honestly, this is because I've done this for, 30 years and stuff. I can see what's happening. But on this, I can take a 2 out. On this, I can take a 2 out. So I am going to rewrite. I'm just rewriting it and factoring out the bottom. I am not doing the problem yet. I am just setting it up. Okay. Now I'm ready to get a common denominator. And here's the deal. Because these are multiplying, I'm not going to do 2 times 2 because what's the common denominator between 2 and 2? 2. Because these are different, we are going to leave it like that for just a minute. So, what does 2 times y minus 2 need to be this? It needs a y minus 4. So this needs y minus 4. This needs a y minus 2. So this needs a y minus 2. We have to distribute and get y squared minus 4y. And this is why we did this right here, because some of you, a lot of you, most of you, would have forgotten that that would be negative. And you would have put the negative with this, but you wouldn't have with that. And so negative 8y times y would be negative 8y squared. Negative 8y times negative 2 is positive 16y. Common like terms. like terms. So that would be negative 7y squared plus 12y. And this again is when you tend to hate me. We cannot leave the bottom factored, so we distribute. Like terms is negative 6y. And then we distribute the 2. Okay, like on 05, I know I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to break here and go to video 2.